Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our roller derby bout this beautiful hot Saturday afternoon. Who's ready? I'm Belle Scorcho.
And I'm Laura Smashley.
And now you're going to have to listen to our safety announcement. In the event of an emergency, please make your way to the nearest lighted exit in an orderly fashion. The main building exits are located through the pink doors you entered. The assembly point is directly outside the door. Please notify a site manager of any emergencies.
All right, now that that's out of the way, we have an exciting game for you this afternoon. We have White Lightning versus Black Metal, our incredibly talented Junior Derby Dolls skaters. Are you ready to meet the skaters?
First, watch these videos.
A Los Angeles Derby Dolls bout consists of 4 quarters, each lasting 15 minutes. These quarters are divided into 60-second rounds called jams. Each team has 5 players on the track in each jam, 4 players called blockers, and 1 point-scoring player called the jammer. You can always distinguish the jammers from the other players on the track by their starred helmets. It's the jammer's job to try to score points, and the blocker's job to try to stop them. The first whistle will sound to start the jam, and the blockers launch onto the track.
This is a really exciting video that tells you
The
how to play
blockers
roller
form a
derby
tight
and
grouping
watch
called
roller derby.
the
But
pack.
the sound's not
The jammers
working.
race their way
So
around the
we've got our
track and catch
skaters
up to the
coming in.
pack. The
These
jammers must
skaters with
then
the stars
fight
of
their way
jammer,
through
they
the
have to
pack.
make their way
The
through
blockers
the
from the
pack,
opposing
and they
team will
gain
try
a
to stop
point for
them, while the
every
blockers on their
skater on
team
the
try to
opposing
assist
team that
them.
they left.
The jammers have
Jammer
now
out
broken out
first
of the
is
pack
lead
and must race
jammer.
their way
She
around the track and meet
controls
up with
the
the pack
jam.
again. Keep an eye on the jammer in front. She is your lead
jammer
jammer
right there,
and can
see?
call off the
And
jammer
it
by placing her hands
goes
on her
through.
hips.
When she's done, she can call
The
off
pink
jam
jammer
by
is
hitting
now
her
in position to
hips
score.
twice,
She receives
ending
1
the
point for
jam
each
and
member of the
resetting
opposing
for the
team
next
she
one.
passes. As the pink jammer racks up
And that's
points,
how
the
roller
yellow
derby
jammer
is
catches the
played.
pack and is now also in position to score. The
pretty
yellow
sure you
jammer
all
will
know because
also
you're here
receive 1
supporting your
point for
children.
each member of the pink team she passes. The jam ends when 60 seconds have elapsed, or when the lead jammer
Jam is
calls
over
off the
when
jam by
jammer
placing her
hits her
hands on her
hips or
hips.
60
Players are
seconds has
not permitted to
elapsed.
purposely trip or tackle their opponents. Players can block each other using their bodies and shoulders, but cannot use their elbows, forearms, or hands. Players violating the rules will be placed
Those are
in
the
the
things you
penalty
shouldn't
box
do.
located
Hit
on the
people, elbow
infield,
people.
forcing their
We all
team to
know the
skate the
rules,
next
right?
jam with 1 less skater.
Applaud
The
if you know
game
the
ends
rules.
after 4 quarters. The team with the most points at the end of the bout is your winner.
Derby doll. Who will win this amazing exposition bout? Now we're ready to meet our skaters. Give it up for White Lightning. Is Hell on Wheels number 14. Next up, Trauma Queen 15. Chemical X number 42. Lightning McQuinn number 95. Lash Out Loud 101. Fruit Punch 0180, number 222, Cupid's Revenge. We got Jawbreaker number 225. Katana Crash 347. Mayhem 808. Wearing number 976, Courtney Shove. Mad Cat 1134. Gizmo 1201. See ya later, number 1612. Queen Cobra 1975. The Bomb 2107. Vroom 3355. Slaying Mantis 5149. And we've got co-captain Thugs Bunny and Captain Wensley Adams 757. Our junior coaches today are Phoebe Punisher and Ziggy Stardust. Let's give a round for our skaters.
Next up, we have black metal. Number 13, Raven. Number 19, Bloody Holly. Number 22, Nia Brawleton. Number 27, Luna Shovegood. Number 31, Rainbow Crash. 33K, Pikazoom. 53, Curly Q. Number 60, Anna Death Chase. Number 63, Beetlejuke. Number 206, Brooken Bones. Number 214, Stormy Sky. Number 522, Stargirl. Number 927, Sailor Doom. Number 1212, Smasherella. Number 1313, Impaler Swift. Number 1609, Hidden. Number 1997, Jolteon. 5533, Mad X. Your co-captain is number 64, Smackaroni. And your captain is number 74, Furious George. And coaches for the black metal team are Betty Rumble and Kitten Crush. Give it up for black metal.
Are you ready to meet your enforcers, keeping this game clean and keeping our skaters accountable? We've got Head Ref Metallicile, Game Executioner Slabia Majora, Jam Ref Chakilra, Jam Ref Suspected. Front pack ref is Casey Cajones, back pack ref Metallicile, outside pack ref Bunny Holly. Penalty tracking done by Penaltina, penalty tracker assistant Lady Macbeth. Penalty box administrators are Deathly Hollers and Happy Kilmore. Eye in the Sky, Go-Go Roll. Eye in the Sky number 2, Hassel Black. Scoreboard operator, Rumblebee. And whiteboard is E.T. Anthony.
We would like to thank our EMTs, the Doll Repair Team, the Track Monkeys, and the Rad Crew. And again, we are your announcers, Laura Smashley and Belle Scorcho. The Derby Dolls acknowledge that we gather on traditional unceded Keech and Tongva land. We ask League members and the Derby Dolls community to honor with gratitude the Keech and Tongva people, elders, and the land itself. We are grateful to the earth and sun and deities of this world and the Keech and Tongva people.
And now, what I've always wanted to say, and I thank Trixie Biscuit and Evil Eve for giving us this opportunity. Are you ready for roller derby action? White Jammer, we're looking at number 0180, Fruit Punch. That was a good, clean jam to start us off today. It is hot in here.
It is. I hope those skaters are staying cool. And it looks like we had no penalties in that jam, which is great.
We have a trash can that's flown into the inside track, so let's get that back on track, and now our skaters can get back to doing what they need to do.
Can you give a trash can a penalty?
I'd say that was a jostling.
That's Captain Wensley Adams, lead jammer for the White Lightning.
Followed shortly behind by Jolteon, forcing that call off. Jolteon has been one of our skaters for several years and is graduating high school.
Congrats, Jolteon.
Jolt's promised us already that they will be continuing into the Adults League. I am so impressed by these kids moving so quickly in this heat. I feel like a sloth today.
Me too. That's Doug's Bunny, followed closely by Beetlejuke.
Smart call off. Looks like we have our first penalty, first 2 penalties of the bout.
I see 2 directional blocks on number 42 and is that 1134?
Yes, 11:34 and number 42, both with directional blocks. Calling a timeout while we get the correct skaters to the penalty box.
That means White Lightning will be down 2 blockers this jam.
This is a good advantage for Black to get some points up on the board. Cutting easily through the inside.
Number 64, Captain Smackaroni. Or sorry, co-captain.
Smart call off there by Black, getting their points and returning to the bench. Sounds like we've got a penalty coming up to us.
Is that a jammer penalty? I think I see Black Metal's jammer in the box.
Looks like a
Back block.
back block for jammer 64. That's a co-captain.
So that means we've got a power jam for White Lightning.
White jammer's out, meaning it is time to score some points. That jammer's hoping her team can keep it nice and slow. Poor jammer's getting really pushed around up the front.
And that's the jam. That's 5 points for White Lightning. And 2 penalties on the Black team. Looks like we have a back block and an arms for Impaler Swift. And I didn't catch the other skater's number.
We have ourselves a jammer race. Love to see it.
And quick call off by Black Metal's jammer. No penalties in that very short jam. Number 15, Trauma Queen, is the lead jammer for White Lightning. And Luna Shovgood is still coming up behind.
Love to see the tenacity of these skaters working hard in their free time, doing a sport that not everyone knows about, but we lucky few.
Trauma Queen calls it before Luna Shovgood can get up to the back of the pack.
Looks like we've got a white blocker in the box. That looks like Chemical X with another directional block. Seems to be their penalty of choice this bout.
Remember, skaters always need to be moving in derby direction. They cannot block in the wrong direction and they cannot skate in the wrong direction. Those are penalties.
Looks like our jammer might have lost her star panty. It fell off. In cases like this, our jammer cannot score points until they return that panty to their head. And she's grabbed it. That is always a nightmare, to have your equipment or uniform fail you like that. But luckily, nobody slipped on that. We've got a penalty for black, number 64, with it above the shoulders.
Looks like we have a timeout for White Lightning.
Maybe it's because we're up here in the sky, but I don't think they're feeling the heat like we are.
I hope they're staying cool down there. I have to say, White Lightning's coaches are wearing some fantastic outfits. Those plaid skirts are awesome.
Plaid skirts look awesome, but also extremely warm.
That's true.
There's a reason why those are school uniforms in Scotland.
Ah, yes. Good point, good point.
Maybe not best attire for a hot day in Los Angeles, or to be more specific, Vernon. Well, this is a timeout being called for White. It might be a good time for Black to kind of have a pep talk, free time to chat. And you gotta think they're talking about how they can put some more points up on the board.
White has 20 points right now, and Black has 4, and we've got about 8 minutes left in the first quarter of this game.
Which is more than enough time for something to happen and change. We've got White lead jammer out of the pack right away, followed closely behind by Black's jammer, 33K.
That's Lightning McQuinn for White Lightning and Pika Zoom for Black Metal.
Pika Zoom living up to the name, zooming around the track, trying to catch that other jammer.
White Lightning grabbing some points and calling it off.
Another clean jam. Our penalty board tracker is getting good squats today and not having to do much writing.
I think our junior skaters skate a lot cleaner than our adult skaters do.
Easier to learn the rules when your brain is young and nimble.
That's number 5533, Mad X, lead jammer for Black Metal.
We've lost a toe stop, it looks like, so that jammer is gonna have to work on her edges of her skates and rely on nimbleness of balance and not that toe stop.
I hope she knows she lost it, because it's no fun when you try to do a turnaround toe stop and your toe stop isn't there.
Well, back in the day, we didn't get toe stops. Fresh meat skaters had to learn with jam plugs, which is a little plastic thing that goes into that hole where your toe stop goes. When you graduated to subpool, they let you have toe stops.
See, that might be why I started with flat track before I came here. They let us have toe stops.
Well, that rule was abolished 12 years ago.
We're not old at all. Oh, look, we have some penalties. I see number 31 has a directional block and a stopping, and I see a couple of directional blocks on 347 and another one of the white team skaters. Both jammers are fighting hard this jam. It can be a lot harder to get out of that pack when you don't have all of your blockers helping you out.
Speaking of flat track, this looks like flat track. It's all defense on both sides. Neither jammer getting help.
Looks like number 13, Raven, is finally out of the pack for black metal. And remember that the pack is defined by the largest number of blockers representing both teams skating in proximity. So when the white blockers and the black blockers get too far apart from each other, it's a split pack and they've got to get back together or risk a penalty.
Looks like we have some penalties coming in. Let's see what we've got. I'm hearing some failure to reforms.
It looks like all three of the penalties are failure to reforms.
Failure to reform is exactly what Smashley was just talking about with being the pack. So while our poor jammers were fighting against a pack on their own, it meant that the pack was no longer defined and they had to reform into a clump in the middle. A lot of deliberation going on with the penalties, so maybe more complicated than we thought.
Score is currently White Lightning 24, Black Metal 7.
All failure to reforms, as we thought. Smackaroni hitting off the whistle. Love to see an aggressive jammer, but it didn't pay off as the white jammer number 14 is out first. It's Hell on Wheels. And Smack is finally out with Hell on Wheels coming in. Getting points and calling it off.
Black Metal down one skater. We're about to find out what that penalty is.
We've got two, actually. We've got 74 for a directional block and above the shoulders, and 1609 for a directional block. White taking advantage of this depleted pack and getting their jammer out first.
That's Cupid's Revenge, number 222, lead jammer for White Lightning.
Sailor Doom jamming for the black team, black metal.
Both jammers are working really hard in that pack.
Hear a lot of coaches yelling, "Help your jammer," and I would want that help too.
Cupid's Revenge out of the pack again.
Running out that full jam, a full 60 seconds. 5-point jam for white. Really boxing black out from getting any new points up on the board. But we are seeing penalties on both teams, 53 on black with an arms, as well as white, 225 with an arms.
White Lightning in lead.
Smart move by Black's jammer, using the chaos of White jammer coming in for the scoring pass to get out and try to make it around for points. If you're sitting at home watching this or in the crowd watching this thinking, I think I have a child who would want to play derby, well, guess what? You can have that happen. We have our summer camp coming up, a week-long day camp where junior skaters can learn the fundamentals and have a bout of their own.
Chemical X lead jammer.
Black jammer really fighting to get out, putting up a good fight. Great footwork, just zigzagging through that pack, but ultimately getting hit to the infield.
Chemical X got 5 points, most likely, on that pass, because Black Metal's jammer was still in the pack, and therefore a point.
Brook and Bones not giving up, though, and finally exiting the pack just in time for it to be called off.
That was a 10-point jam for White Lightning.
We've got an arms and a low block for White Lightning and Black Metal. It just clears a little track space for both teams.
Slaying Mantis out in lead for White Lightning.
Hidden in that pack, trying to fight through.
And Slaying Mantis just jumps right through on the inside again.
And we've got a panty pass, first of the day. Not quite in time to score any points, though. Looks like we have multiple penalties being assessed here by our outside pack ref, Bunny. And that's our quarter break. It happened so quickly, we didn't even notice. Now's a great time to stretch your legs, get an ice cold bottle of water or whatever you want. Go find our bar and our snack stand. And we're back for the second quarter.
We have 3 skaters in the penalty box, all with directional blocks, it looks like.
We've got some shout outs here in the YouTube chat. Shout out to Brooke and Bones. Let's go, Brooke. And a good job to Mantis. We've got White Jammer out and lead. Their little ponytail is blocking the number. It's too precious.
It looks like number 1612, Zia later.
Black Jammer is out now, number 1313. Impaler Swift. Zia finding that hole and hoping to score some points. Lead change. Impaler Swift calling it off. Two penalties called for Black, including the jammer with an arms, making this a power jam advantage to the white team.
Number 1201, Gizmo, is out of the pack for White Lightning. Gizmo's going to be trying to make as many scoring passes as possible. Her blockers are going to be trying to help her get through.
Gizmo out for another scoring pass. We've got one penalty assessed to number 74. That's a directional block on Furious George, the captain of Black Metal. Nia Broliton jamming for the Black team. And White Jammer sneaking through on the inside.
That's number 15, Trauma Queen.
Nia Broliton finally out, but White Jammer's calling it off after scoring that full set of points.
And that's 4 more points for White Lightning.
And we've got a directional block there on the white team.
Number 3355, Bubba Vroom, is living up to her name. Smasherella still fighting that wall of White Lightning skaters in the back of the pack. And Smasherella is out.
But once again, just in time for the White Jammer to call it off. They are doing a great job of defense, holding Black to very few points. We've got the White Pivot sitting in the box here. Let's see what we've got. And Arms on 1134. Mad Cat. Black is your lead jammer. The jammer race, but unfortunately called off before any fun can happen. The race in itself is fun, I suppose.
No penalties that jam. Full packs for both teams.
Number 31 for Black is out lead. That is Rainbow Crash.
.808 Mayhem is jamming for White Lightning.
Rainbow Crash coming around, scoring those points, and going around for one more. This could be that morale boost that Black Metal needs. Rainbow getting caught on a couple jammers or blockers at the front, but making it through for another scoring pass. That's a 10-point jam for Black, essentially doubling their points on the board. Meanwhile, we're looking at 2 penalties on the White team, including the jammer. Oh, and our blocker's been set free. Waiting for the official word from the officials. See a lot of pointing.
It's looking like it might be a power jam for Black Metal, but we'll wait to see what the refs say.
And there we have it, a blocker down for Black for a directional block and an illegal procedure or an illegal block for the White jammer. That makes this a power jam for Black, as Smashley said, giving Black team another chance to put some more points up on the board uncontested.
And that's number 63, Beetlejuke, only jammer on the track for Black Metal.
With the leggings that go with the name, Beetlejuke, and those stripy legs, zooming around the track, picking up points. And they make it out for another scoring pass, hopefully here with 22 seconds on the clock. Let's see what they can do.
Looks like White Lightning's trying to run away from that jammer.
Beetlejuke living up to the name again, juking through and scoring a couple points on that last pass. Nine points for Black, but we're also seeing a low block on number 27 Luna Shove Good.
White Lightning's jammer straight through on the high. That's number 14 is Hell on Wheels.
Out and through, looking to score some more. You know it's a good hit when the crowd all goes, oh, in. It's Hell on Wheels, making it look easy. Just slicing around the track, like no big deal. A 12-point jam there for White, increasing their lead, now 91-30. Looks like we've got a couple penalties coming over to us. It's a double jammer down. That means both of our jammers did something not good, but because both of them have commit penalties, they're going to sit in the box as blockers while both teams get to field a jammer.
It wouldn't be a very exciting jam with no jammers.
Just be blocking for sake of blocking. As someone who jams a lot, you really hate getting a penalty as a jammer, and this is the only way that it feels acceptable, is if the other jammer sits too.
White Lightning has lead jammer again. That's number 95, Lightning McQuinn.
But Black's jammer is out now too. Let's see what that Black defensive wall can do.
Lightning McQuinn grabs 4 points and calls it off.
Look at that, a clean penalty bench. Just over 3.5 minutes left in this half of the game.
Captain Wensley Adams, lead jammer for White Lightning.
But Jolteon is out right after. Both of these skaters look so at home on the track as they're whizzing around. Another clear penalty box.
And another jammer race.
Some nice blocking up front by Brooke and Bones, trying to slow down that White jammer, but didn't quite hold him in enough, as we've got White coming in for 1 point there and calling it off. And I have to say, this chat here on YouTube is cheering for Brooks. Your brothers and sister and dad are here rooting for you in the black medal. We've got clear penalty benches again.
And lead jammer again for White Lightning. And an almost immediate call off.
We've got just over a minute and a half left in this half of the game. Maybe time for one, possibly two jams. Penalty bench is clear. And another jammer race.
That's Fruit Punch and Pika Zoom. Fruit Punch calling it off while entering the pack. Hoping to grab a point or two.
Looks like they snuck in on the high and maybe grabbed a couple, but we'll wait and see. Penalty benches are clear.
I'm really enjoying these clear penalty benches.
White is lead jammer.
That's Gizmo.
Black is out, number 522. Star Girl wearing a star.
Gizmo trying to fight through the pack and get some more points.
Stuck on Jolteon, having to call it off. And that is halftime. Let's give it up for our skaters. We will see you back here shortly. Go stretch your legs, get some water. I would love to dunk my head in a bucket of ice. What about you?
That sounds fantastic.
I can't imagine how our skaters are feeling. They've got that big fan, breezing them down. We'll see you guys later. Welcome back, Derby fans, to the second half of this exhibition bout with White Lightning.
And Black Metal.
Starting this off with 1 in the penalty box.
Current score is White Lightning 106 to Black Metal 30. But we still have half a game ahead of us.
White is sitting with an arms penalty. Who here is cheering for Black Metal?
And who's cheering for White Lightning? And who just loves roller derby? Cheer if you love roller derby. Come on, you can do louder than that. Let's go.
We've got our Black Jammer lead. That is number 19, Bloody Holly. This is Bloody's first time jamming, and she just told me during halftime her mouth was bloody. She bumped her lip on her mouth guard. We've had a jam lead change.
Cupid's Revenge for the White Lightning is now your lead jammer.
Took a little revenge.
And I think that one went the whole minute, and you would think a minute doesn't sound like a long time, but it sure feels like a long time when you're skating in this heat, so great job to our skaters.
We've got 1 penalty for White, sitting number 95, Lightning McQuinn, for an illegal block. And we've got some shout outs here for Brooke and Bones. Your cousins Zimri and Zion are watching and cheering you on, and Junia Park says, OMG, is that a cardboard cutout of Wensley? And it sure is, yes. Let's see that cardboard cutout again while our refs are figuring things out. Can Wensley dance? Can you make that cardboard cutout dance? Woo! Sounds like refs have sorted things out, sticking with that 1 penalty, the illegal block. Bit of a scrum here at the start of this jam. And our Black Jammer is lead jammer as she pushes those 2 white blockers out of play.
That's 55-33 Mad X for Black Metal. Black Metal off to a great start in this second half.
Mad X pushing the way through and out for a full scoring pass while White Jammer is still stuck in the pack. 1975, that is Queen Cobra. Mad X just bouncing through like a ping pong ball.
Just bouncing off those blockers.
Checking the clock, 5 seconds left and calling it off. That's the kind of jam we need to see from Black Metal to even out this score. Must feel good to come down off of that. Enforcer Bunny, cleaning up the track. Thank you, Bunny.
And no penalties in that last jam. We'd love to see an empty penalty box.
Waiting for a score update here. Confirmation that was a 10-point jam.
Number 15, Trauma Queen, lead jammer for White Lightning.
Followed quickly behind by number 13, Raven for Black Metal. We've seen these two jammers up against each other previously. Some great blocking out in front by Broken Bones and number 12. Sorry, number 2, Nia Brawleton. Good partner work up front. Clear on the penalties. Full packs.
Another lead jammer for White Lightning. That's number 3355, Bubba Broom.
In the meantime, number 74, Furious George, bouncing through and trying to catch up. That call-up is just in time for the white team, keeping black from scoring any points. Looks like we're down blockers on both sides. Jolteon for the black team. Politely asking what it is that was committed. Looks like a back block and a directional block.
And White Lightning has lead jammer again. That's Cupid's Revenge.
Jamming for Black Metal is Curly Q. So hard to read Curly's number because her curly hair is blocking that back number. Maybe that's on purpose. Curly Q is low in penalties tonight. Black is sitting on blocker, Impaler Swift. With an above the shoulders. Meanwhile, we've got number 222 for white with an illegal block.
That's a jammer penalty on Cupid's Revenge. So this is going to be a power jam for Black Metal.
Furious George out and hoping to score some points here. Power jams really can change the game, and if Black keeps this one slow, it gives Furious a lot of time to rack up those points.
Black Metal wants to keep those White Lightning blockers separated so that they can control the pack speed.
Beautiful assist up there from Jolt, who is just clearing the track. Furious coming in. We've got lots of cheering for Black Metal in the chat on YouTube. That knee tap at the end was so graceful, it looked like it was on purpose. That's a 12-point jam for Furious George. Bringing this game to 119 for White Lightning, 55 for Black Metal, and 2 in the penalty box. We've got a directional block and something else. Broken Bones is out lead.
That's Broken Bones, who has quite a fan club in the live stream chat.
We had a lead change there as both jammers were caught up in the pack. This is a fast-moving one. Everyone wants those points. Both jammers on scoring passes now. Let's see what happens.
Beautiful spin around and call off by White Lightning's jammer.
Eight points for White, 4 points for Black. Both teams scoring and putting points up on the board. Jolt lead jammer for Black Metal. Followed shortly behind by Is Hell on Wheels. It's a fast-moving pack. Skaters on the ground. 2 points for Jolt and a quick call off.
I see a back block on number 5533.
Mad X sitting in the box. We've got bloody jamming again for Black Metal. Again, see you later. Both of these junior skaters started at the same time. I actually saw Zia later at the park one day in a junior derby shirt and assaulted her immediately. Accosted her. I did not assault a child. It's so fun to watch these junior skaters grow. Bloody fighting to get out of the pack, smushed there, wrapped up like a taco or a burrito.
Zia later living up to that name, straight through on the low again.
Full minute down. Once again, a minute doesn't sound like much until you're skating against a full wall of skaters. While that was a 10-point jam for White, we're sitting 2 blockers. And they have placed too many up on the track. Now, Black Metal's got the numbers on this one, so hopefully they can make some moves. Got a jammer race here.
That's number 347, Katana Crash for White Lightning. It tries to grab some points and call it off. Let's see how many points were scored.
You know, we spend so much time skating around the track and working on timed laps. When you have jammer races, that's when it really, really counts. We've got 2 in the box for Black. Sorry, 1 in the box for Black, 55-33 with a directional block. White jammer is out in lead, but Black is just behind. Smart quick call off by Chemical X, just chipping away, grabbing point after point.
And no penalties in that jam. White Lightning has lead jammer again. That's Slaying Mantis. They have a very slow pack here.
Black Jammer is out on their initial pass. Sling Mantis lapped and coming in for their scoring path. Only 2 minutes left in the third quarter of the game. 8 points for white, none for black. Curly Q jamming for black metal. But White Lightning is lead jammer in this little jammer race. We've also got a shout out in the chat for Anadeth Chase. Go Black Metal from, I don't know how to say that username, but Namization. Go Anadeth Chase. Black Metal out lead jammer, White right behind.
And a quick call off.
Quick call-offs mean a clean penalty bench. This is most likely the last jam of this third quarter.
Can we have our junior skaters come teach our adult skaters how to get fewer penalties?
Beetlejuke is out and lead jammer. Calling it off. 11 seconds left, meaning there's one last jam in this third quarter. We've got an arms penalty on number 15 for White Lightning. That's Trauma Queen inflicting a little trauma on her team. Furious George is out in lead. White Jammer is also out. Furious George scoring some points, calling it off, and closing out the third quarter with a couple more points on the board for Black Metal. While our skaters are enjoying this much-needed break, we want to remind you about some fun events coming up. June 21st at Crypto.com Arena, LA Derby Dolls are getting $10 from each ticket sold for the LA Sparks versus New York Liberty game. So be sure to find our QR code somewhere and order these tickets. It's a fun game of fun night of women's sports. So is anyone coming back later today for our adults bout? I see one hand in the crowd. Maybe that was one person coming back for our super fun adults bout. It's going to be a fun night tonight. It's our special pride bout.
It's going to be a great time. I think we have some exciting stuff lined up.
You can buy off of a menu of items, things that you want the skaters to do. The one I'm really looking forward to is you can pay to have the jammers race backwards. Full jam backwards skating.
Yikes.
I don't think the arthritis in my back would allow me to do that, but that's why I'm going to be sitting up here tonight. Looks like other things you can buy are a power jam and get out of jail free cards and helmet kisses from the coaches to their skaters on the bench. So even if you're not going to be here, this is going to be a fun one to watch. It looks like we're trying to get a wave happening here. So why don't we start with Wensley's cardboard cutout and get the wave going from that pink wall across the bleachers. All right, 1, 2, 3, wave. Ooh, and our skaters are even continuing it through the infield. Now keep waving hard enough so that blows a breeze up to our announcer booth. And we're back for the fourth quarter with 2 penalties. We've got a low block and a directional block for the white team. Black jammer out and lead.
That's Pika Zoom, lead jammer for black metal.
Go Pika Zoom, zooming around with white jammer out as well. It's a full scoring pass there for Pika Zoom and then calling it off.
That's 4 more points for black metal.
And we're down 1 with Curly sitting in the box for an arms and then 0-1-8-0 with a failure to reform for white.
That's Wensley Adams, lead jammer for White Lightning.
Followed closely behind by Jolteon.
Wensley comes up on the low, but gets knocked to the infield. We'll see
Knocked
if
to the
any-
infield just by her cardboard cutout. White is down 1 for an above the shoulders. That's 55-33 Mad X. Oh. It's a big hit from Black's jammer onto a blocker in their path. A legal hit.
Meanwhile, Trauma Queen is the lead jammer for White Lightning.
Luna Shovegood stuck on that pack and finally making it out. White jammer Trauma Queen out and grabbing points and calling it off. Five points for White, but it looks like they're going to be down a jammer with an arms penalty on Trauma Queen.
That means this is a power jam for Black Metal.
With almost 12 minutes left in the game, a few of these power jams could change things. Furious George out and hoping to score. Full pass there for Furious. 14 seconds left on the clock. I'm so impressed by these juniors' elastic knees. Goes down for a knee tap, springs right back up. It's an 8-point jam for Black, and White is sitting number 347 for a directional block. We'll have a timeout here as our EMTs come and assess our fallen skater. With our skaters safely back on the bench, our EMTs are going to do the best thing that they do, which is taking care of our skaters, and we thank them for every bout that they are out here. Because of the nature of the call-off, Impaler Swift is going to have to sit the next 5 jams to make sure that everything's cool. And that she's ready to come back out. Looks like we'll be having 1 in the penalty box for this next jam. And our refs are taking a timeout for the black team. Enforcer Major going out onto the track to call that timeout. Almost run over by a stampede of black skaters who were the ones who called the timeout.
Everyone's excited to get back out on the track.
It's that Pavlovian response. You hear the rolling whistle and you've got to go get your spot.
Looks like Impaler Swift also has a low block.
Hopefully Black got that good pep talk and is ready to come out. Score is 157 White Lightning to 80 for Black Metal. Black Jammer is out, nice and easy, straight through the middle. It's 16:09. Hidden.
Looks like that's 4 points for Black Metal.
At this point in the game, it is a game of running the clock or stopping it. Black's going to want to stop jams as quickly as they can and keep scoring points. We've got 2 penalties there. Black with the directional block, White with an arms.
Trauma Queen, lead jammer for White Lightning.
While Beetlejuke is trying to juke out of the pack, getting caught on that white recycle. And now it's Trauma Queen's turn to get caught in the recycle. I heard some enforcers calling penalties, so we'll see what we have for this next one. But I assume there's going to be at least 1, but maybe 2 sitting in the penalty box.
I see a jammer star in the penalty box.
That is not what Black Metal wants to see. It's a double jammer down, so not a power jam after all. Both arms.
Both jammers get out quickly and gets called off.
I love to see an aggressive jammer, and Jolt just went to hit that white jammer, hoping to stop the call off from happening and take some points from that jam, but it ends up being a 0-0 jam and the clock ticks on. Curly Q is out lead for black.
Followed by Lightning McQuinn for White Lightning.
Curly looking to score points, but the conditions didn't look right and did the smart call off. Seven minutes left here in this bout. Another jammer race. Jolt versus Wensley. These skaters are also teammates on our all-star team, our junior all-star team, which before I had children, I got to coach.
We have one arms penalty on number 522. 522?
I know the chat's gonna like this one. We've got Broken Bones jamming for black. Thugs Bunny is lead jammer for White Lightning. Who here is cheering for White Lightning? And who wants to see Black Metal put some more points up there? We've got black in the box with a low block.
Is Hell on Wheels is lead jammer for White Lightning.
Black's jammer. Pushing through the turn, hoping to make some moves, but is Hell on Wheels slices through for a scoring pass.
Smasherella gets out of the pack for Black Metal.
Furious George hoping to catch that jammer with a butt slide at the front, but just misses. 9 points for White. We've got Furious sitting in the box for directional block and above the shoulders. We've got Zia and Bloody on the jam line for White Lightning and Black Metal. Bloody out lead for Black Metal. Zia is still stuck on Curly in the back there. Zia making it out of the pack while Darby's trying to score some points for Black Metal there. Getting caught on the back blocker. Looking for a little help. The bench yelling to call it, but the clock running out. Four points for Bloody there, and Black Metal bringing their score up to 90 points to White Lightning's 170. White is down a jammer.
Making this a power jam for Black Metal.
Back block ×2 for Zia. Well, if you're gonna go out with 2. Captain Furious George trying to get out of this slow-moving pack on this power jam. White Lightning trying to run away and really make Furious work for those points. The faster these white blockers go, the farther Furious has to skate to get their points.
Furious gets taken to the infield, but pops right back up.
Furious is out of that second scoring pass. No surprise here, 0 points for White. Five points for Black, bringing their score up to 95 with a minute and a half left. We've got a directional block on Black and a back block on White. Luna Shove good. Lead jammer for Black Metal.
Trauma Queen out of the pack for White Lightning.
Luna Shove good, picking up 4 and saying, I'm good with that.
That should bring Black up to 99 points if I can do math.
You can do math, you're an architect.
Well, no one tells you. Architects can't do math. We leave that to the engineers.
Or the calculators on our computers. We're looking at Jolteon on the jam line. In this power jam, likely the last jam, and a timeout is called. Or jam reset, excuse me. We've got a back block on the jammer for White team. And we're off again.
Jolteon power jamming for Black Metal.
Out of play called, and yet White blockers still fighting up at the front.
Remember, once a blocker gets more than 20 feet ahead of the pack, they need to stop blocking.
Jolt picking up a point and crossing the century mark. This should put Black Metal at 101. And they've held White Lightning off from scoring any points for, I think, 5 jams in a row here.
Let's hear it if you're cheering for Black Metal. Give them some love for crossing the century mark.
And let's not forget White Lightning. Who's cheering for them? Jolteon sitting in the box, I think for a back block, but that's the end of the game. Come on down and show our skaters some love as White Lightning takes to the track.
Congratulations to White Lightning, Is Hell on Wheels, Trauma Queen, Chemical X, Lightning McQuinn, Lash Out Loud, Fruit Punch, Cupid's Revenge, Jawbreaker, Katana Crash, Mayhem, Courtney Shove, Mad Cat, Gizmo, See You Later, Queen Cobra, The Bomb, Vava Vroom, Slaying Mantis, Thugs Bunny, Wensley Adams, and your coaches Phoebe Punisher and Ziggy Stardust.
And now let's give it up for Black Metal as they take to the track. We've got Raven, Bloody Holly, Nia Broliton, Luna Shovegood, Rainbow Crash, Pika Zoom, Curly Q, Anna Death Chase, Beetlejuke, Brook and Bones, Stormy Sky, Stargirl, Sailor Doom, Smasherella, Impaler Swift, Hidden, Jolteon, Maddox, Co-Captain Smackaroni, Captain Furious George, and their coaches Betty Rumble and Kitten Crush. Let's give it up for Black Metal. I'm Belle Scorcho.
I'm Laura Smashley.
Thanks for coming, and stick around. Buy a ticket to the adult bout or watch us on YouTube. It's going to be great. Thanks for enjoying roller derby with us this afternoon.